All right, viewers, I'm here with Barrister Sejus Ogun, the beacon of hope of the Asian people. People might say, oh, why is he the beacon of hope of the Asian people? If you ask that question, it means that you are not from Asian. Because if you were from Asian by now, you would have known whom Barrister Sejus Ogun is. Barrister Sejus Ogun, incidentally, is contesting, is a PDP aspirant for the Federal House of Rep 2015 election. At the moment, the campaign is going on. He's familiarizing himself with the people, and today he will be going around the different wards in Uromi. How you doing, Sejus?
Very well, sir.
It's nice to meet you again on a special day like this, that you are meeting with the community leaders, you are meeting with the ordinary people, you're telling them your aims, your vision for the people, and I don't know how you feel today. Are you excited?
I'm excited.
Okay, tell me about it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going to the world to meet our people, to tell them who I am and what I represent. For those that do not know me too well, and to let them know what I represent.
This is an opportune time. There has been this gang up that I see it as a gang up, that there's an Uromi agenda. And I know that you are 51 years old now. And of that 51 years, about 40 years of your life would have been spent here. So when you go out today seeing the Uromi people, do you think there's anybody, whether born in Uromi or outside Uromi, that is more of an Uromi son than you?
Well, like you rightly said, I turned 51 May this year. And of these 51 years, I've spent 40 years in Uromi. So my childhood friends, the ones I went to school with, grew up with, are from Uromi. So the first set of friends that I will naturally relate with today are from Uromi. So if anybody says there's an Uromi agenda, sure, I believe it. And I am the Uromi agenda. Yeah, I'm from Eastern Southeast, Boha, but I grew up here. My family house is here. My mom lives there. And the better part of the time I spend in Eastern land, I spend in Uromi. So if anybody says there's an Uromi agenda, bring it on. I am the Uromi agenda. I represent the Uromi interest. I have done more for people in Uromi than anywhere else in Eastern land because my root is here.
Now that we're talking about Uromi agenda, and they say Uromi agenda is looking after the betterment of Uromi, just let's talk about your vision for the Eastern people, not just Uromi, because we are quite convinced now that you have your interest, the Uromi interest is uppermost in your mind. But talking about the Eastern people now representing your senatorial district, what are your visions for these people?
Primarily, my vision is my constituency, which is Agbazilo for now, and I have said this repeatedly. Growing up, we heard of the cattle ranch in Onogolo, the goat ranch in Ubiaja. These things don't exist anymore. So every day we talk about unemployment for our children, our youth. How are they going to get a job? The local government council is limited in what they can do. The few banks in town are limited in what they can do. So the only way I think we can create jobs immediately now, which I think is a stopgap, is to go into farming. Mechanized, because when you say farming in this part of the world, what comes to mind is cutlass and hoe. But it's mechanized farming. You know, we do mechanized farming, and that's the starting point. Then we start a factory. Because whatever is coming from the farm is going to be processed. So I think in another 2-3 years, we should be able to start something in this place. So my vision primarily is to create jobs here and engage the young minds. Engage the young minds. I'm already doing women empowerment, youth empowerment. And if I might just add quickly, if I just go back to the Uromi agenda quickly, if anybody amongst the group that have constituted themselves into this body, if anyone can come out to tell the Uromi people before they got any government appointment, before they got into any government office, what they did for the Uromi people. So we should put this side by side, what I have done for the Uromi people. I don't have any government contract, never did any government contract, have not served in any government office. But from my own personal resources, I have done a whole lot for my people here, the Uromi people. And I am saying that's just too little. I will use the government platform to better the lives of the Uromi people. That is my dream. That is my vision. I think it's doable, and yes, we can do it.
I know you are busy. Just one last question about you're talking about youth unemployment.
Yes.
What do you really think about this? I know that this year you gave scholarship out for 550 students to be able to enroll for their NECO. But there's a problem in education, the falling standard of education. What are you looking at? Because it's one thing to want to help people, but it's another thing for the system to be bad. So what are you looking at? If you had the power, what do you think you would be able to do in maybe in association with other political leaders to at least improve the falling standard of education?
Yeah, thank you. Now as you know, we give out exercise book to primary school pupils and secondary school students. That will start from next week as the school resumes. And the purpose for this, why we do it every first week, is to get parents to send their kids to school. We are giving out these exercise books. It's just our contribution. It's free. Then the stop gap. What I say, stop gap to the falling standard of education. We can't do everything at the same time. We can only try and persuade the government to overhaul the system. But what I keep saying, there's no need talking about government always. What can we do as a people? So what we have, somebody came to my office yesterday, my secretary in Ubiaja, a youth corper, and he said she's furnishing a library in a school in Ubiaja or something. That's okay, fine. Give the details to them. I will collaborate with you, because this is part of my vision. I think we should go back to the big old schools, Esan Grammar School, St. John Bosco's. I also send people there to confirm if they have working borehole. If they don't have, I will sink one there. Before elections, not after elections, before elections, I will sink borehole there. But they have also told me these schools have libraries. Okay, let's visit and see what books they have. The young ones are not reading anymore. When we were in school, we were reading. We use the library. So we want to equip the science laboratory labs. We want to furnish the science labs, build their library. But importantly, I'm working with a body to interview young graduates, most in the sciences, and then a consulting body will interview them, not just anybody from the community, but they're going to be from here. We have to be the very intelligent ones. We will pay them, put resources together, pay them to go to these schools and teach sciences, not government. Because that's our own contribution to help the government. And if we do this for under 3 years, 4 years, we'll begin to churn out good graduates. Now we have the Institute of Technology here now. By the grace of God, tomorrow we'll have Agric Institute. Who are those that are going to work in this establishment? So if we don't have our people trained and ready to do it, people will come from outside. And we will lose those opportunities. So we are just going to intervene by hiring sound minds to assist the government, because they are our children. The next doctor, the next medical doctor that could invent a drug to take care of any deadly disease might be from Agbazilo. So if we don't spot that one today, if we don't bring out that one today, that disease can wipe out the whole world.
All right. I know that these are very interesting issues, but I do know that you are going on a tour now, so I won't hold you that long. But I just want to say best of luck. Well, viewers, we've been talking to Barrister Sejus Ogun, and all I can say is that when we talk about Uromi agenda should be the betterment of the Uromi people and the betterment of the Asian people in general, and not just for the interest of some group of people who has coined the name Uromi agenda. And it is a shame if we start talking about Uromi agenda instead of talking about Asian agenda. Whether you are Ugboha, whether you are Ubiaja, whether you are Ekpoma or Uromi, I think we are all the same. And I think that politics should not separate us. And when we have leaders who are supposed to be uniter of the people, talking about a particular section of the people, I completely disagree with that. But I also want to say that when Barrister Sejus Ogun talks about agriculture, when he talks about providing employment, and he talks about education, doing it aside of the government powers where we say the government must do it. If he says that bring a body together, get intelligent people to come and teach sciences, I mean, that's a way of helping the community, and that's a way of helping the young ones. It's not just going to school, because these days you go to school, there are no teachers. Going to school, pass from class to class without having the fundamentals, that's a problem. So all I'm saying is, this is an election time. I expect the people to look very deeply into the different candidates coming out for, to ask you for your vote. It's not just about money. It's not about food. But it has to be because of the issues that they are discussing, issues, their visions. If we can do that, we have a better and a brighter society. On that note, I just want to once again say, Barrister Sejus Ogun, thank you, and I wish you the very best of luck.
Thank you for having me.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.